Focus. Make sure you see what it really says. Yes, I am selling t-shirts now. And this is my first product that I just designed myself. Make Survivor Great Again. I have a few different designs. Hance 2020. Keep Hope Alive. That kind of stuff. Go check it out. I got the link in the description. I think you would enjoy it. Just looking at it, even if you don't want to purchase. I got some pretty funny stuff on there. Very familiar design. But it's Make Survivor Great Again. All right, so now we're going to talk about top 10 seasons, themed seasons that Survivor should do. Now, I'm going to start from 10, obviously, like I always do, go to number 1 season that I think that they should do, they have to do. Some of these are super interesting to me, so interesting, I made 2 phone calls with a decision that a season that I like, that I really like, and I talked to 2 previous survivors about getting this sent to Jeff. I have his email, send it directly to him, and because it's super interesting. Let's see, that is number, where is it? Number 5. So, number 5 is, which should be number 1, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, we'll go from that. Anyway, let's start with number 10. We have number 10, Survivor Redo. Now, a Survivor Redo would be, let's say you take the seasons. Let's say, just because I know the season, let's go with my season, season 19. Let's go, and it's Foa Foa. Let's take Foa Foa and find that cast and put them together, the same group. Now, it doesn't have to be the same season like Samoa. It just has to be the tribes in the season. Put together tribes in the season for a redo. All of Foa Foa, put them together. Then all of, even Gabon, whatever their tribe names were. I forgot what they were. But you take that tribe name, you put it together. You take 2, you could for sure find a group of the players that would say yes to do something like this. Take all of Foa Foa. Let's say you take all of Galu, since it's something familiar, and you redo the season. But you don't, it wouldn't be Foa Foa and Galu. It would be Foa Foa and whoever else from another season. And you fight and you redo each other that way. I think that would be an interesting take to Survivor. It would be people that's already played together. They obviously, if it would be 4-4, they wouldn't make the same moves this time. I don't think I can control 4-4 like I did before. Obviously, they would do things a little differently. So it would be fun to see how they actually would do things. The first out probably wouldn't be the first out. The winner probably wouldn't be the winner. The person controlling probably wouldn't be the person controlling this time around. So I think it'd be super interesting. That I put it number 10 on my list, but I think it'd be super interesting to do something like that. They need viewers, most that's what they need overall. So if you like it, comment below. Tell me which one you like the best. Number 9, back to basics. Simple. Back to basics, man. Go back to Borneo. A different cast. Go back to the same type of theme. No idols. None of that stuff. Back to basics. Now, I don't know if it would take or not. A lot of people say, oh, let's just go back to how it used to be. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's make them earn their rice. Not give it to them. Make them earn their beans. Season 19 and 20, we didn't get rice and beans. So maybe don't even give it to them. Make it tough again. Make it rough. No, it's super rough. Survivor, I haven't played in 10 years. So I don't know how rough it really is these days. I'm hoping it's the same. I'm hoping it is rough because that's the basics of Survivor. That's how it all started. So back to basics, number 9. I think it'd be fun. Number 8, Celebrity Survivor. Now, I'm not talking about some fly-by-night reality TV celebrity. I'm talking about celebrities, like people that I've heard are fans of the show. Lou Diamond Phillips, Jimmy Fallon. I heard Brad Pitt was a fan of the show. Like legit people. Don't do it unless you can get legit people. If you get legit celebrities, then I think that it would be worth watching. If not, and give them the same treatment that you give the survivors. Same treatment you give us. And if you could do that, then I think it would be interesting. If you can't do that, if you have, people like Snooki out there, then no, it wouldn't work. Nobody wants to see Snooki rolling around out there. I'm just saying. It just wouldn't work. So the only way celebrities would work if it's legit celebrities. Because it's a legit show. You want legit people. All right. Alrighty, number 8. Number 8 is... No, that's number 8. Celebrities. I'm sorry. Most people would cut that out. Cut out, oh, I messed up here. Let me cut it out and fix it. You see that I don't cut nothing out. If I mess up something, I just mess up. You see it. And that's what I want to keep doing on this, YouTube, because I want it to be real. I think people appreciate that, so we won't cut none of that out. Number 7, code. I just put code. It's code. I put that because maybe Survivor Antarctica. Couldn't be that. They would die out there, but you had to give them some sort of, you'd have to give them comforts like blankets because they would die. They would have to have jackets and things like that. But, put it in a reasonable code place to where they suffer. You want them to suffer. That's the whole point of Survivor. People like watching people suffer. It's crazy, but that's what it is. I've asked before. I've asked directly some executives with CBS, how come you don't do this in a code environment? It's been talked about, they said, but they say you don't get the TNA. I'm sure you can figure that out because nobody's rolling around with their bikinis. You don't have Richard Hatch. Nobody wants to see that, but you don't have him run around naked for sure in this season. So I think it'd be fun to watch. I think it'd be interesting. Another take on Survivor. Survivor is going forward, right? Survivor is changing all the time. So why can't we see something like that? I think it'd be interesting to watch. I wouldn't want to be on that season, but I think it would be interesting for the viewers. All right. Number 6. First outs. A lot of people want to see the first outs. You hear that all the time. You would have people like Francesca. She got twice the chance to play. Twice. She is a first outer twice. She's like, I love Francesca. She's a cool person, but she would be like a pro, the pro first outer. And I think it would be fun too. Again, another fun season. So first outs, you hear it a lot. You have some super interesting people that went first. Mariska from season 19, my season, she was super outgoing. Most of the aggressive people, they go first. So you would have a season of nothing but super outgoing, super aggressive players that went first because they were so aggressive. So it's first outs. I mean, it made number 6 on my list. Let's do it. First out. Now, number 5. This is the one I want to talk about more in depth. This one that could easily be number 1. And it is a schoolyard pig. Now, follow with me. I'm going to have to follow with myself because it's such a in-depth type of season. You have 2 players that's voted by the public. Those 2 players. Now, I'm just gonna name easy stuff. To be a first person that created alliances. I don't think Richard would ever play again. But let's say Richard Hatch. He's the first person that created alliance. He's the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and call this Alpha Omega. Only the beginning and the end. Only for this purpose. It's a biblical term, but I don't like to mix the two. But we'll do that just for this type of season. You have the beginning. You got Richard Hatch. Then you have me. So let's say you had us in the 2 team captains, or you can have you guys vote on it like they did the vote. Put 20 names out there. Who do you want? Or, put 10 females and 10 males, and you vote on who you want to be the team captain. Now, what you're doing is you're doing a schoolyard pick with 100 survivors in LA. What they do is they send a memo to 500 and something, or whatever the number is of survivors that played the game. A memo to all of them saying, if you want to be a part of this, you take care of your room and board, you fly here, it's this day, on this time, we meet at this beach, and that's all there is to it. Bam. Let us know if you can make it. And then you'd probably have 200 applicants. And then CBS chooses, and Survivor chooses 100 people from that 200 applicants to join us on the beach. Whoever the top 2 that you guys vote for, let's scrap the Richard and me thing. Let's just say it's America that chooses the vote. Whoever chooses the 2 people, the female and the male, those 2 are standing at the beach, and then CBS chooses 100 people to stand in line in front of them. And then each captain start with the male, and then the female, and the male chooses a female, and then the female captain chooses a male, and then it goes on and on like that. But the person let's say it's me, the person I choose, the female I choose, they choose the next person. So that makes it fair. It's not like I'm out there picking my entire team. I would pick my team. Let's say I pick Parvati, and then Parvati picks. If I pick Parvati, she ain't gonna go along the lines that I want to go, and most of them won't. They pick who they want, and then that person picks who they want, so on and so forth. So then you have this. I think this would be the biggest thing that CBS would ever do. It would be a massive scale of free publicity. You have everybody talking about it, right? Social media would go crazy over it. You have the public voting on it. So you have all that. It would be a massive scale of publicity for this type of season. And after they vote, you have 10. They have 10. After they vote, they get on a helicopter and they head out to the airport or to wherever. Get on a helicopter, fly somewhere, land in the same spot, go to the airport, fly out to Fiji. That's probably what they would do. But, or whatever. I'm just trying to throw out an idea here. So you can take it and run however you want with it. And you can comment below, see if you can make this more interesting. But you understand the concept, where I'm going with this. You can make a 2-hour episode. The first hour of this would be this happening right here. The whole process of this happening. And then the second hour would be actually them, you can show them getting off the plane in Fiji. You can show the production, some of the production side of it that a lot of you want to see. And the whole first episode would be super exciting. And I think tons of people would like to be involved in something like that. I don't see how they wouldn't do this type of season. You think, they like to control different things, different aspects of the cast. They can control the cast. They pick out of the 200 or so applicants, they get to pick the 100 that's standing before the 2 that the public picked. So I think it would be, sounds pretty super interesting to me. So we'll move on from that. And that's number 5 on the list. We're going to go to number 4, and another season that people talk a lot about. Some of these are redos of previous seasons. Like my number 11 was Brain versus Brawn versus Beauty. I didn't put that in here, but 2. So it made number 11. I just didn't put it in here. So some of them are seasons that they've done that people talk about that they want to hear, again, they want to watch again. So we're going to talk about number 4 now. It is America versus Australia, or whatever country's ready to play. Mostly Australia, because they got their Survivor thing going on over there, which they call Survivor, which, you know, that's another YouTube. But let Jeff control it. Let America follow all rules. There's no toilets like they have an Australian Survivor. There's no bottled water like they have in Australian Survivor. Legit American Survivor, the toughest game in the world. They would have to follow all rules, but that's neither here nor there if you can get it to happen. Number 4, America versus Australian. They have some great players. I think it would be, fun to watch. 2 countries going at it. It would be interesting to see if anybody would align themselves with an American or an Australian Survivor. It would be interesting to see how that would happen. But most of the people over there are amazing. So it'd be a clean season. Everybody would have a good time. I know you think it's interesting. I know everybody out there is watching this is like, maybe. I'd like to see something like that. I think we can actually see something like that. If Survivor lasts another 100 seasons, I mean, come on. It's the way it's going, you don't know. But eventually they'd have to do something like that. Bring them together. Almost like the AFC and the NFC. Clash. When the NFC started, they thought the AFC was, a joke. Could never beat the NFC. And then all of a sudden they say, let's put them together. Let's play. And call it the Super Bowl. So they played. Those 2 teams played each other. AFC won. Joe Namath. So you may think that the Australian Survivor is the AFC. You may think that, and all of a sudden they're the winner of the season. That'd be a slap in the face for American Survivor. But that could easily happen. Let's make it happen, Jeff. Everybody wants to see it. That's what they want to see. Some fun, interesting seasons. All right. Number 3. Blood versus Water 3. They did it twice for a reason. People like the concept of bringing your family member out there. If it would be me, I'd probably bring my daughter out there. I know people think that would be interesting. I would not vote my daughter out. That would be the hard part. You heard me say that before. I don't know if she'd vote me out or not. I'd like to think not, but, it's $1 million, maybe $2 million by that time for everybody. So, Blood versus Water 3, it's a tough season to play. When Kelly Wentworth played it with her dad, this is just an example, you've seen her not do so well. Then when she goes back, she does well. So, it would, like I said, it's a tough season for someone like me to play. But I would definitely, if they called and asked me about it, if I would want to play that type of season, I think they do need to bring it back. But if they called and asked if I wanted to do that type of season, I would first talk to one of my girls, see what they think about it, and then go from there. But I would definitely take it serious, and maybe I would play. I don't know. Number 2. Heroes versus Villains 2. It's insane. You have all these, let's do this again, let's do this again, let's do Redemption Island a few times, let's do Edge of Extinction a few times. You guys are doing things over and over. Blood and Water, they did it twice. And the best season ever. Poll after poll. I'm not just saying it because I was on it. Poll after poll, everything you see, everything you read, it wins by a long shot. Heroes versus Villains 2. So you see them bringing back things over and over when they're subpar seasons. And then when they have a hit, they don't bring it back. When they have a massive hit, a home run, they don't bring it back. So that's a little shocking to me. I've never understood why they wouldn't bring Heroes and Villains 2. Never understood it. But I believe sooner or later, depending on how long Survivor lasts, we should see that again. Number 1, here it goes. It's what everybody's been waiting for. It's what season 40 should have been. Now, I'm excited about winners, super excited, But I would have been more excited about Legends. Number one, Legends. You get to see all the legends play together. Maybe Richard Hatch, I don't know. Johnny Fairplay, Coach, Sierra, Sari, all super legends that get to play together. And like right now, when you look at winners, you look at them and you're like, well, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch, but they could have made the cast better. Because just because you won the game don't mean that you played like a legend. Just because you win don't make you a legend, right? We all have to agree with that, because if that's the case, then every single quarterback that's won the Super Bowl would be a legend. And that's not the case. Just because you win the big one don't make you a legend. And half these casts, they have a lot of legends there. They have some people that will become a legend. I think of somebody like Tyson. I don't think he's a legend yet. I think that he's super, super close. And I think this will put him over the top. He becomes a legend. This also takes people off that list. Tony, if he goes early, he's off the list. He wins once. He plays 3 times. He does terrible too. I don't know what he does, but let's say he does. Takes him off the list. People right on the edge of that legend status. You can even say Sandra. This would be a second time she played. If she doesn't do well, then she won twice. But Sandra was, I've always said she was a legend. Always. When she won twice. Then she won once. Let's say, top 10 legends, she's number 5. She lost that next one. Then all of a sudden she drops to number 8. Still a legend. Top, on the 10 list. She's number 8. Then she loses again. Now, she's really close to 11 and 10. You have to say that she's super close to getting knocked down off that list. And if she played again before Legends and did terrible again, and you have another 2-time winner, let's say Sophie wins. Is she a legend? Let's say she wins with the same performance. Is she a legend? So that's another YouTube talking about who's real legends and who's not. And I think I've did that before, but it's changing. Things are changing every season. But I have number 1 as legends. I think that's happening sooner than later. I think a legend season was on their mind for season 40, and you would think it would be on their mind coming up pretty soon. They can't wait till season 50 because everybody's going to be, we'll all be walking with canes. Hey, Sonny, do you think you need to sit out this challenge? It's like, it wouldn't work. So, that's what I got. That's my top 10 theme seasons that Survivor should think about. Aaron, tell me below what you think is your favorite. If you have a season, I called a few people. If you guys have a different idea, put it below what you would like to see. I think it's interesting. Maybe somebody's watching this and from the executives from CBS or Survivor, and they'll read the comments to see. We might give them an idea, guys. You never know. They're going to do something on this list sooner or later. So you never know. They could do whatever you like. So I'm about to do a podcast with Rob C. Rob has a podcast, and I'm trying to get one with Bob Crowley. He said he'll do one with me to talk about what's going on with that situation. How come he's not out there? Is it because he's getting older? If he said no or whatever. So start checking the links below. I haven't done it yet, so this link is not going to have anything. I'm going to put the link to my podcast below if you want to check it out. But when I do those podcasts, I'm probably going to talk about it again. I'm going to link them to a couple of videos, my most recent videos, immediately, right after I do them. If you want to check out my store here, that I have my designs, I have different stuff that I decided that I want to do. I think it's funny. You can go check out the link below. I'll put in the description. I'll put where you can buy these shirts, and subscribe. We're at 13,000 followers, so that's pretty exciting. I need that 100,000 button, that silver, I mean, whatever it is, silver button. I want the button. I want the 100,000 button. It's so difficult. You have to work. This ain't easy. I mean, you would think because I'm Russell, I would get tons of, but I only have 13,000, and I work at that. You know, I had 1,000. We worked and worked and worked, got to 10,000. We're doing a lot more. Me and my son does a lot of the work to get to 20,000, and then keep moving forward. So if you like the content, please like it, please follow us, and press the notification bell. You get notified when I drop a video, and you know, just keep watching, guys. And that's all I got. Keep hope alive.